raised in Africa, and I left to go to the United Kingdom as a young man. Joined the British Army and spent 10 years with the British Gurkhas, working all around the globe. Then went to Manchester University in the UK, and from Manchester University in the UK immigrated to Australia. At that time, the country I was raised in Africa was not as welcoming as it had been before, so I sought new pastures and a new career in Australia. I joined this line of business in the 90s and have been with WOMA since 1997. And today, 2019, I'm still with WOMA. WOMA has transitioned from being a contracting business in the 80s, 90s, through to 2000 when it became a design engineering business, specifically focusing in the pump engineering sector. So WOMA Australia is a 100% Australian-owned company, but we have a 30% shareholding from WOMA Germany. The WOMA product is represented through 85 countries around the world, so we're well established globally. The Australian part of the business, which I operate, has been very resourceful in terms of innovation and new developments. Working with resources, oil and gas and mining, the benchmark set by many of the blue chip companies like Woodside and Rio Tinto, BHP, Alcoa, forced us to look at new technologies, alternative technologies here in Australia. As such, WOMA Australia is probably the most advanced WOMAs around the world, and we offer specialized solutions in a number of fields. So WOMA itself was established first in 1956, here in Australia in the 80s, and now in 2019 we're a multifaceted company offering design, engineering, manufacturing, service support, training, and a rental service. And we specialize in high pressure pump systems, in vacuum extraction systems, and explosion protection solutions. WOMA's core focus used to be water as a tool. Water is the most incredible tool that you can think of. If we can develop water pressures at the molecular level to 2 and 3 times the speed of sound, it allows us to use water as a tool to engage in many parts of industry. So you'd be aware of cold water cutting, CNC type cutting using water jet cutting. But in our instance, we're able to use those high pressures to clean scale from mines and refineries, to clean out pipelines, to clean systems subsea, to operate on offshore oil rigs. So water as a tool for a clean environment is our core product. Allied to that has been the development of vacuum technology. So wherever we apply the water, we're able to utilize industrial vacuum systems to capably encapsulate that and extract the used water and products. So vacuum can be used offshore oil and gas, mining, municipal, and here in Western Australia, contractors use our high pressure water jet systems and vacuum systems to maintain Navy vessels. So they use the high pressure water to remove coatings, to cut certain aspects of the vessels into fuel tanks, and then they use the vacuum to clean up as well. So our technologies are already capably employed within the defense sector. The third part of our overall offering is explosion protection systems, and recently, 2.5 years ago, WOMA brought to Australia an original equipment manufacturing capacity for explosion protection systems through the Moretti Group. So using Moretti technologies, we're able to take an internal combustion engine, principally diesel engines, and we apply various mechanisms to that engine to enable it to work in an explosive hazardous environment. So we work to ATEX and to IECEX principally, and we're capable of registering to ANZEX as well, and producing equipment that can work in hazardous environments. So when allied to our pump systems, to our vacuum systems, to compressors, to hydraulic power packs, and to many other aspects of the environment and of industry, we're able to provide a really good solution to industry. We don't employ a lot of people, but we employ smart people. And in the old contracting division was a much larger business, but when we got out of contracting, we went to engineering. And the business started with 2 people in the year 2000, and it's gradually grown. And today we sit with 30 people across Australia, in New South Wales, in Queensland, covering New Zealand and the Pacific Islands, and here in Western Australia. From engineering and mechanical engineers through to electronics technicians, fitters, fabricators, and various other skills and trades. So mining and oil and gas would be about 60% of our revenue. Municipal and other sectors, for example, material handling, would make up the other 40%. Construction, engineering, manufacturing. What we've found is the Australian resource sector in the Northwest Shelf in oil and gas and throughout in mining has set a very high global benchmark from an occupational health and safety perspective, from an environmental perspective and a productivity perspective. So we've had to cut our teeth and survive in that environment. And many people often look at Western Australia and wonder how we can offer the defence sector solutions. Well, the truth is that what's happened is that the benchmarks that we've risen to here in the West have allowed us to develop technologies that are not readily available around the rest of Australia, let alone other parts of the world. So what we've done is we've monopolized on those technologies, and we now provide process improvement, safety, productivity solutions to the mining industry overseas, in Africa, in the Pacific Islands, in mines and refineries, wherein we've brought about huge turnaround safeties, productivity benefits, and safety benefits. The old adage, global solutions, local ingenuity, really does apply in this business, because we have a good team of engineers. We draw upon leading edge global technologies, and we morph them to better suit the industrial application that needs an answer. Where we really stand out, and I've just come out of a long meeting this morning, is where clients have a particularly difficult problem. My team come together and quite often engineer a very bespoke but very workable solution from them. We are tried and tested in what we do. We draw upon pre-existing tried and tested technologies and rope them together to provide industry with sure solutions. So I suppose whilst we are proponents of high and ultra high pressure, and we're very well known for that globally, I would say we're up in the top 2 globally in that area. And where we're well known for our vacuum capacity, we're also well known for our robotics and our explosion protection solutions. We stand out because we listen to the client, we look at the specific industrial problem, and we apply previously proven technologies for that solution. An example of this has been, for example, in Africa, a certain plant had a vessel that had been designed where they couldn't actually get people inside the vessel, and the vessel contained sulfuric acid. We were able to design a system drawing on existing technologies that minimized the chance of explosion, and also managed to clean the vessel for them to bring them back up into productivity in 7 days as opposed to the previous 25 days. So I'll give you some simple solutions that we've applied across the board, which would indicate the propensity we have to operate within the defense space. In material handling, for example, we take a brand new forklift, and for example, for Toyota now, we take a brand new forklift, we strip it right down to basically its chassis and its engine. We rewire the unit entirely with flame-proof wiring. We fit EX starter motors, EX alternators, EX input manifolds, EX output manifolds, gas filtrex and flame-proofing systems to the gas outlets, the reject air. We make an EX box to take all the electronic control systems. And that system is then, as an entire unit, certified to ATEX Zone 1 or IECX. And that allows that unit then for Toyota to go and work in a gas plant or a paint factory or some other dust or gaseous, potentially flammable environment. The defense sector is very attractive for us. I mean, a number of companies utilize our technologies now within the defense sector. We as the designer, developer, and they as the contractor. So a lot of our technologies are already contracted into defense. But as a design engineering company, there really is room for us to work directly with the larger EPCMs and to work with the larger core contractors in the implementation of explosion protection systems to material handling goods within the defense sector. For example, if you have a fork truck and it's moving munitions, we can ensure that that fork truck has been made as intrinsically safe as possible to minimize any chance of unintended explosion. And in an engine room, which can be a potentially flammable and explosive environment, we're able to put into place not fire control systems, but engine protection systems that stop the chance of any flammability. In Navy, material handling is a large part of, as we do with offshore oil and gas, material handling is a large part of where we can apply to the Navy. And additionally, in our robotics and manipulation area, we've got the ability to remove the worker from a dangerous environment, whether that's loading shells or some semi-automated application. So we believe that if people from defense actually had a look at what we're able to do for them, there would be a very, very good synergy. So our plan for the next 12 to 24 months is to, I suppose, consolidate what we do in resource sector and mining and oil and gas, but concurrent to that, extrapolate the core skills from there into other core sectors. And those core sectors being defense, the municipal sector, and into construction engineering. So we've got a number of skills that have been honed in those, in the resource sector, in subsea, topside, offshore oil and gas, and in mining. And we believe that there's a real opportunity for us to roll some of those skills into defense to the huge benefit of the defense industry.